What's up with everybody? It's your boy Antonio, bringing to you Truth and Results Training. Alright, so in this video, I want to talk about basically understanding bodybuilding and what it actually means. Because I've spoken to a few people who's thinking about it and actually who have competed, and they place at a decent level, nothing really too serious. And they're trying to get their body to the next level when it comes to, placing better on their next show or whatever have you. Well, one of the key factors I want to talk to everybody about is this: that I don't hear people talk about it. I barely hear any pros talk about it, and I really want everyone to listen up who may be interested into getting into bodybuilding or any kind of competition, okay, that you will be judged on. Now, let me start off by saying this. Obviously, you have to have your foundation down, okay? And what I mean by foundation is when you first start off working out, okay, you just starting out, so you still got a lot of growing to do. You got a lot of growth to achieve. Okay. Now, with that being said, when you start to see your body dialed in, literally where you can go take your before picture and then show after a couple years, few years, depending on how you train and how intense you train, it's going to take around that time. It's going to take a solid, 2 to 3 years, if not longer, to actually build your foundation. Okay. Again, you will know your foundation if you're able to take a clean before and after picture where you gain at least, significantly amount of muscle, obviously natural, that you can say to yourself, well, damn, I got a lot of results going on. And then when you start hitting like mandatory poses, you start to see your body, dialed in. But you basically, long story short, you know when you actually got your body at its full potential, no doubt about it. So, people start coming to ask you, how do you do things, ask for advice. Your intensity start to get more. There's different things to let you know, as indicators to let you know when your body has reached its full potential. But that's not the cream of the crop. Basically, the cream of the crop is this. And when it comes to competing, bodybuilding, physique, or whatever, like I said, whatever you're going to do as far as competition-wise, you do not want to go into the gym and do your standard, so-called standard routine. Let me give you an example. So, when you're working out, let's say it's back day. You got your standard seated lat wide grip pull down, your V-bar pull down. You got your barbell rolls, your dumbbell rolls. You got your single arm rolls. You got your row extension machines. You got all these standard machines and standard workouts that everybody do every day. Okay, that you see every day. Barbell rolls. Everything that I just mentioned, right? You want to do those, but really what you want to focus on, you want to focus on angles. Now, some of you may be saying, what are angles? Well, let me give you an example, another one. So yesterday was back day for me, right? So what I did do, I walked in there, obviously warming up. I did some pull-ups. You always should start, me personally, you always should start your back workout with some pull-ups. If you can't do some pull-ups, you want to focus on that. You don't want to focus on any kind of machines. You should be able to pull your body up, okay? That's just primary, but that's another topic. So like I was saying before, you want to focus, okay, on angles. So for me, yesterday was back day. What I did, obviously after warming up and hit my mandatories, all the routines that I just mentioned, barbell rolls, dumbbell rolls, you got your machine rolls, all this other stuff, your pull downs. But then you want to start focusing on angles. Now, let's just use a cable V-bar pull down, which that's one of the routines that I did. But what I did do, instead of putting my knees under the two pads when you pull down with the V-bar, turn around. If you gotta lighten the weight a little bit, that's fine. Again, you're bodybuilding, not light, moderate to heavy weight. That way you can control it. Turn around, okay? Face out of the machine, okay? So now you're getting a better stretch above you, okay? And you can pull it down more towards your belly button, or far out you can to hit your lower lats, okay? Because when you're doing that standard movement, you hitting your upper back a lot. And what I see a lot of people lack on stage and just in general when people call themselves posing is your lower lats, that lower Christmas tree. Everybody got this big upper back where it's right below the rear delt. But when it comes to your lower back, it's flat. That's because they're not hitting angles. Let me give you another example. So another exercise that what you can do, which I incorporated on my back day yesterday, was I pulled up a regular old incline bench. I inclined it like I was going to do a incline bench press. I pulled it up to a machine. I put the cable far up, and then what I did do, I got a short bar that curves on the side where you can grip it at, and I also inclined it. So what I did do, as my chest was against the mat, I got that full squeeze up and a full squeeze back. So the bar was actually coming to like my neck area. Okay, not my lower chest, but towards my neck area, and I was getting that full squeeze. Well, those are different angles, and the key point of that workout was I was on an incline bench, and I actually angled it, than being in a standard, let's say, bench or machine that everybody does the same thing over and over again. Well, these type of movements that is going to help out people when it comes to on stage. These are the things that's going to make you stand out when you're lifting. Well, not lifting. When you're posing against your opponents. Okay, so what I mean by that is the judges looks for who has, obviously, let's say for me, I'm doing classic physique. Well, it's all about symmetry in that. It's about size and muscle. Don't get it wrong, but the primary is symmetry. Well, not only you got to bring the aesthetic look, you got to be shredded, but you have to have that muscle definition that others don't have. Okay, that's part of symmetry. So ask yourself, how do you get these other muscles that pop out different than other people? If everybody's doing the same machine rolls, machine pull downs, cable pull downs, lat pull downs, you're working out the same muscle, people. So remember, it's all about angles. Okay? So for example, let me give you another one. Let's just use chest. Everybody knows there's a flat bench, there's an incline bench, there's a decline bench, right? Well, I don't see this. And this is one of the things that I incorporate to a couple of my clients. This is how I train my clients. Okay? Instead of using your standard incline machine bench or all the way flat bench, stop it halfway before you go to that actual regular incline. So now that's a different angle that you work in your muscle. Now, I'm not trying to say that you're going to develop some strength muscle that other people can't accomplish, but trust me, if you go in there and do the same movements over and over again that everybody else is doing, okay, you're only working out the same muscle. It would not hurt you at all. Especially, I'm talking to the people who's trying to compete out there. It will not hurt you if you start angling it up a little different than what your opponents is doing, what your competition is doing. Okay, that's going to make and break you on that stage. Period. I'm not even going to get into the nutrition and all that stuff, because all of that is a straightforward fact. You got to have all that in play. But when working out, don't go in there do the exact same thing that everybody else is doing. Okay, get you a coach, get you a trainer who knows these type of things. If you going in there with a trainer or somebody that they having you doing the exact same thing everybody else is doing, okay, I'm not trying to say that trainer doesn't know anything. I'm just saying there's betters out there. Okay, don't go in there and do the exact same thing everybody else is doing. Yeah, you can incorporate those type of movements, but what else are you doing? Think about that for a second. Everybody, I'll talk to everybody later. Peace.